How's it, chaps, and welcome back to the Burton Builds garage. It's been a long time, I know, but you know, shit happens. Feeling a little bit blue today, so thought I would jump into another video, and this is something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. And if you are like me and you use your garage for everything other than cooking supper, sometimes cooking supper, then you'll realize that the acoustics or the sound in your garage is actually really crap. Just something that I've really been wanting to do is just to improve the acoustics in my garage. I want to do some audio recording, maybe when I'm doing my videos, make it sound a little bit better than what it currently does. So probably the easiest thing to do is to treat the ceiling. The roof here is a tin roof. There's absolutely nothing else other than the tin and a couple of beams. Lots of hard surfaces around, so really not an audio recording paradise. One thing that you can do is use some of this stuff. This is Knauf. I'm not quite too sure how you say it, but probably like that. It's basically a real thick ceiling insulation that basically helps like environmental control. That's going to be heating, cooling, that type of thing, but also for sound absorption. So I'm going to put this on the underside of the ceiling, and hopefully that's going to get rid of some of the reflections. Now, this stuff is pretty big. You can see it's that's about as big as it is. You take this plastic off, and it's just going to, you know, do that type of setup. There's 7.5 meters in here, and it's 135 millimeters thick. So once we open it, we'll start measuring it and cutting it, and then you know, just see where we go from there. Not very expensive stuff. Well, mid-range. This cost me about $700. It's about $50 US if the prices are equivalent in the US or wherever in the world that you are. But it's a relatively cheap way of improving the acoustics where you are recording. So looking at the specs of this stuff, the R value is 3.35. As I said, 135 millimeters thick. The roll is 1.2 meters wide, 7.5 meters long, and it is 9 square meters. So I'm going to need about 15. That's why I've bought 2 of these rolls. And as far as I know, this is a wholly natural product. It's not like some of the stuff that you get. Like I think it's called Aerolite Think Pink, where there's also like a fiberglass or fiber wool based product, but because of some of the binders that they put in there, it kind of irritates your skin. This stuff supposedly does not irritate your skin, so I'm hoping it's really gonna work well. The loose plan is to then just remove all of this stuff up here. I mean, you can see there's a bit of a light happening here. There's some wires hanging in the roof up there. If we look further up here, here's another light that I use for videoing, and then you can actually see behind the light the tin roof. Here's our bicycle rack, that's got to be removed. There's an old box, there's some ladders. There's actually a whole lot of stuff that just has to be removed before we can actually install that Knauf insulation stuff up against the roof sheeting. Let's just take this down. Those things are $180 each. Expensive shit. Oh my god, those things here, fuck me. Shit. What is that? No. Golf ball. This is from when we were testing or made the golf ball machine gun. Must have got stuck up there. Don't move it too much. I don't know what's going to happen now. Fuck. These things are glass, so they might break. Whew. Okay, that should be... Oh, shit, man. Forgot about all this stuff. So after taking the light down, kind of found this that was stashed above the light. Now that's all my old RC airplanes. Something that I used to do a couple of years ago. And something that my wife has been saying to me all along, that I've got too much stuff. Tell you what we do. If you don't tell anybody, I won't. We'll take these things down, we'll stick them in the house roof, and I'll tell her I got rid of them. I think I'll get away with that. at least for a couple of years, until I take them out again. Okay, so the plan is to eventually get that insulation in here, in these gaps. They're going to run across above these main beams in those gaps, and then we're going to use some brown string to string across instead of using like timber battens, because that's all I've got on hand. But before we do that, it's actually quite important to keep the room as sealed as possible. I don't even know if I'm in frame. Oh, hello. You can see here the roof was actually raised by about, I don't know what that is, probably 50 millimeters. So we've got this major gap all the way across. So we're just going to seal that with some sealing foam. Spray it in there, it expands, seals the gap, and there's also some gaps around there. So what we're going to end up with is basically a properly sealed room, so no dust is going to get in. And also for soundproofing, you want the room to be as sealed as possible. I should be wearing eye protection maybe when spraying this stuff, at least. This thing's wet. Oh, you push it down. Just been getting the support strings up, so that's these things over here. I'm pulling them really taut, and I'm going to put in some staples right here, and that's just to support the insulation that's going to hang over the top of it. So hopefully that is going to be enough support. If it's not, I'm going to have to put a couple more taut strings in and hope for the best, really. Letting this out of the cage, that is, I'm not exactly too sure how big it's going to get, but it's probably going to get fairly big. So I'm not really sure if there's a technique for this, or you just somewhere tear it apart. Interested to see. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, looks like it is. It's two sections. I don't know. Oh, it's got a little cut there, but it looks like it's two sections that are 600 millimeters wide each. So I think we're gonna have to put up with that for now. Unfortunately, I thought it was going to be an entire 1.2 meters wide, but clearly I was mistaken, according to the, unless, yeah, check it out. It's a separate reel, 600. I think what I'm going to have to do is put up, I mean these things are 900 wide each, so put up 600 and then cut another strip of 300 and put like a 300 strip in each section. Shouldn't be too difficult, but just a little bit more work. I'll save this for later. Quite strange, actually. We want 2.9 meters. So let's have a look, see what we've got here. 2.6, 2.3. Not exactly the biggest square round, but it will do the job. So roughly there. That's close enough. Supposedly you can just cut this stuff with the scissors. There you are, they were correct. The plan now is to, I think, take it from the middle, feed it up and across, and up and across. really just having a look at it, these little bits and pieces hanging down here, and over time they might start dropping. So I reckon we just put some long Hessian pieces, staple gun them in, and it'll just keep everything nice and neat. And Hessian breathes very well, so that shouldn't affect the sound at all. It's going to be a bit more work than we thought. So I guess that is job complete, and I think it came out pretty damn well. Very industrial looking, so suits the garage and it suits me fine. I did say previously I was going to put up some Hessian in the gaps. I don't think I'm going to do that. What I ended up doing was just pulling in a couple more rows of string just to provide a bit of support, and that has worked absolutely perfect, and the string cost me nothing. At a later stage we can always put the Hessian in if we need to provide even more support. So something that I did want to comment on as I was doing this, was it worth it? Was it worth the expense, worth the effort? And as I was installing it, and I might have got 3/4 of the way through, I was putting in every alternate panel, and I was thinking to myself, oh man, but this is not sounding that different. I'm getting a little bit worried here. And then as I put the last 3 panels in that completed the seal between the beam and the other panels, so there was absolutely no tin roof exposed. So as those last 3 panels went in, amazing the difference. Probably that's where 60-70% of the difference came, is once the roof was completely sealed up. So that just goes to show that sealing your space is going to provide quite a good result. It's not really going to be such a great thing if you're just putting little patches up. I mean, it definitely wouldn't have worked in my scenario. So I'm pretty happy that I did the entire ceiling. Now, I guess all of you are wondering, well, what does it sound like? Well, this is exactly what it sounds like. I'm using the same microphone, using the same wireless system, same camera, no audio corrections, nothing like that. And, well, let's have a listen to the beginning of the episode again. How's it, chaps, and welcome back to the Burton Builds garage. It's been a long time, I know, but shit happens. So there we go. You can actually hear it sounds a bit different. It's an improvement to my ears at least. And subjectively, walking in here previously, when there was no sort of insulating material, you would walk into the garage and it would be like this tinny, reverby, echoey sound in here. Well, now when you walk in, man, it's like a dead room. So I'm really, really happy with that. I think I'd like to put up a couple of more panels, and maybe we'll do that in a future video. We'll have a look at how to make your own little sound panels. Now, a couple of years ago, I did this for another space that I was in. Made these panels. I mean, they're quite nice, professional looking panels. Also, not for much money, pretty cheap, just if you know how to do it. And so maybe we'll have a look at that, and I'll put them up on the walls. I mean, given we've still got a lot of hard spaces here where all the tools are, lots of reflective surfaces, so I'll dot them around, and we'll see if that improves things anymore. So guys, thanks. That is it for the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It really does help me out. And well, for everybody that continues to watch my videos, thanks for the support. Yeah, I guess we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.